Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Drifting Lands. During the last part, I met up with the creepy cultist Simon of the Redemption Corporation, and he's informed us that Amber has been captured and imprisoned, and unless we follow his commands, she will be executed or something. And because of that, we started facing our second faction, the Corinthians, who seem to be using a lot more magnetic-based weapons, or red-colored weapons. And so I ended off the part after facing them twice. Before I continue on, it's time to sell off all this excess junk. I would like to use the simple heavy thruster, but fine, I want to get a lot more armor. As you can see here, my armor rating... Wow, this is really old. I really should be upgrading my heavy thruster. That explains it quite a bit. And from the last part, difficulty is certainly picking up, and it's nice to see that each enemy faction has their own characteristics that we have to worry about. Like I said in the previous part, the Redemption forces seem to focus more on quantity over quality, with lots of weak and medium enemies in large quantities, whereas the Corinthians focus on smaller to medium number of stronger mechs or ships. See here, I'll keep these just in case there's another mission. Also, let me sell off this excess stuff. I want to try upgrading my shield and energy amounts because that'll be necessary for powering my skills and whatnot. Unfortunately, none of these are good enough. Yeah, they're all under my current tier, unfortunately. I suppose the only way I can get better stuff is by fighting in the field. Before I continue on, I'm going to be shifting my skills. I did some experimentation in another file, but I'm going to be using some spear skills, because this will allow me to attack from 8 different directions, or a little bit more than 8. So I have an option with the plasma spear, which emits spears of pure plasma in any direction for this much damage per second. This is affected by my power rating. So it's quite a lot, and it's like a continuous stream of damage because I can use 4 of them per second. However, I cannot move while the skill is active. On the other hand, I could use the magnetic spear, I cannot move either, but it will deal magnetic damage instead. But it is a little bit slower, unfortunately, but if I do that, I'll have more variety in my tactics because my dual flame blade does plasma damage. But for now, I'll go for the plasma spear because that does more DPS overall. And I'm going to replace my flame blade just for now because I want to have conflagration in case of emergency. And before I go to my first mission, let me check what my weapon type is. Of course, it's also plasma. If there's a situation where I need to shift off my attacks, actually, you know what? I want to have more variety because it seems that putting all my eggs in one basket in terms of damage type may be problematic, especially with the Corinthians, or Corinthians, whatever they're named. So I'll go with magnetic spear, so I at least have 2 damage types I can rely with. Well, physical, plasma, and magnetic. This does deal a little bit less damage, but it works out for me. This is the mission set I just completed in the last part, so let's do Charity Begins at Home. Well, at least we have a new cinematic. Oh, that's bad. Badly hidden on purpose. I wonder... Okay, so I suppose it was a threat by Redemption, or an insider. I wonder who it could be. Yep, it's Simon. I expected as much. I wonder, how did Redemption become such a cult-like corporation? Okay, so what happened? To be fair, a lot of churches do have their own problems. So we're going to kill off some outcasts or something? Well, we have to help him, otherwise Amber's dead. Although, I wondered, if we had the choice, could we just abandon Amber? That would be a neat side effect. That would be a neat side path we could choose. So we're going to basically do some sabotage into redemption and take out some enemy subfactions or something. Oh, and there'll be a boss too. Very likely there. Whenever they say there may be a boss, there will be a boss. Oh yes, it's orange colored. That means there will be a boss. So, charity begins at home, number 1. We need to eliminate the Guardian of Redemption protecting the route of the convoy. So destroy the main threat of the last sector, so it's at the end. I also got a controller from here on out, so my keyboard sounds will not be as loud, thankfully. So let's begin.
Focus up.
Here's how the plasma spear works, but of course there is a 1 second delay, so you have to be a little bit cautious. Oh. There are a lot of projectiles being fired too, so yeah, this is going to be one of the busier stages. At least I can attack from a longer range. Oh, and also I can keep the button held down to fire a lot more magnetic spears at once. And it doesn't really drain as much of my energy because of the delay time. But now I can at least attack enemies behind me for a lot of damage, which is going to be really helpful for some of these segments. Like here, for example, because I can no longer fire, because my weapon doesn't fire as straight as I would like it to, and with this I can fix that. But of course I can't move while this is up. Another nice thing is that my magnetic spears actually pierce. As you can see here, my energy drain rate is very low, so I can spam it. When I was testing out my other spear, the plasma spear, my energy drain rate was much higher. That may be due to me having a lower tiered ship, but it also may be due to the fact that the plasma spear has a higher DPS but costs a lot more to use. Oh, this is bad. But I suppose the magnetic spear will be a lot more useful when I get to the quarantine troops. And I need to be careful about all the retaliation damage I'll be taking. At least I have plenty of shields. This segment would be a lot more dangerous if I was playing as the Interceptor, because it has much less shields. Well, I do like that this game actually has a soft difficulty selection, whereas Centennial's easy mode, Marauder's medium difficulty or normal, and the Interceptor is hard mode. And you can switch between the two when you want to, or when you feel skilled enough. Whoa, I went right into that. Flew right into that one. Okay, these are the explosive ones. There's the boss. I already fought you once before, so I know what the deal with you is. It also has magnetic attacks. Wonderful. At least I can fire backwards now. Other problem is the fact that there's so many different enemies attacking me now. So yeah, that makes it a bit different. It's more difficult because there are now enemy flunkies trying to shoot me down. So it's using a combination of plasma damage as well as magnetic damage. That's good to know. Here they come. Now I just need to go circle around this and I'll be able to eventually defeat it. Probably taking this weapon wasn't the best choice. Especially because I can't move while firing. Oh, I thought it was gonna ram right into me there. But I'm doing fairly well in this boss fight for now, at least. Oh, shoot, I failed a mission. I didn't destroy the boss fast enough. Well, that sucks. Let's try this again, shall we? Alright, we're back at the boss fight. I did a jump cut there because we don't need to see me go through the entire stage over again. Let's hope that this works better in my favor this time. I'm gonna damage tank a little bit of this boss fight though, so I can— oh boy, that was bad. Well, I guess the take 3 will have to happen soon. Let's see, that was my first failure. Well, it's fine. I lost my cargo, but that's fine. You know what, I'm gonna be switching to another weapon off screen. That'll be a better idea. Alright, take 3. I decided to switch out to the Flame Blade because it seems to do a lot better. And now I have a Trident because I really need a consistent stream of damage. That was the main reason why I died in the previous fight. Or lost in the previous fight, because I didn't get enough damage done. Let's hope that this works out better in my favor. Otherwise I'll do some off-screen level grinding so I can do a little bit better. But a continuous stream of damage is the thing I need to do in order to get this boss down, because it has periods of time where it's completely immune to damage. Whereas with the double cannon, I can't really deal damage fast enough because of how it opens and closes its shell. This one should work out better if the boss doesn't decide to end itself right now. Okay, good, I got it this time. I think I'll keep the Flame Blade as well as the Conflagration skill on right now, because I really need more skill points of damage in order to use the Magic Spears better. Well, I suppose that's why they're called advanced skills in the first place. But the Trident series is rather dependable because it always fires in that triple shot pattern. But it's the dual Gatling, as you saw, the problems with that. Alright, number 2, we have another boss fight. We need to destroy enough of the freighter's modules to satisfy Brother Simon. So we need to destroy— it's basically destroy X amount of something. Well, that's another mission type I haven't seen yet. Thankfully, when I failed that mission, none of my objects got destroyed, because there's a specific chance of your items getting destroyed if you have a trigger on automatic retreat, even on manual retreat. I was lucky that it didn't happen to me, but it could happen to you, or in future times. Oh. The red shields that you see over here will block enemy shots, or block dealing damage to those enemies, so I gotta get them down as quickly as possible. Well, this is certainly a shorter mission. As you can see, there are only about 6 segments, and we're on segment 2. And destroying these orbs or bombs before they blow up does give me extra points too. I tested this off screen. But if they explode before you can destroy them, well, they don't give you any extra points. I also realized that the harder the ship, the more control you have over gaining focus. Because for the Marauder, I need to stay in these randomly spawning orbs, or whatever these wormholes or circular or shaped objects are. With the Centennial, you have to take damage and wait for your shields to regenerate. At least that's what I remember. Whereas for the Interceptor, you just need to graze bullets, and there are plenty of bullets, especially at higher difficulties. And you have a lot more choice of where they are instead of having to rely on where the orb or circular orb will be. I will try out the mine skill though, because that may be useful. Well, the spear skill was great against the enemies, but it wasn't really that good against the boss fight, unfortunately. That's where problems started to come along. Because they couldn't deal enough damage in order to destroy the boss. That and using the simple cannon didn't really help out. Because the boss kept becoming invulnerable and uninvulnerable. Oh, these are orbiting enemies. They try orbiting around you. And that's a new boss type. Okay, they fire small orbs at you. And they'll try flying right into you. Oh, and they fire lasers at you if you're not careful. Oh, that's the first one. Oh, that wasn't the boss. That was just the mini-boss. That is the boss. So I need to destroy enough of this freighter.
Not enough energy.
I would like to have some energy now.
Killing streak.
Please shoot some shots at me. Okay, I took out 2 of them.
Skill not ready.
I have to destroy the next set.
Killing streak.
Hold on. Just wanted to check what items I have. Oh, I can actually see which ones they're going to be going towards. Thank you, game.
Enough energy.
But I really need some shots being fired at me so I can actually regenerate stuff. Come on, I want to destroy this freighter.
Focus up. Skill not ready.
Okay, at least one freighter is down. Oh, magnet.
Killing streak.
Oh, I remember this one. These will pull you in if you're to get too close to them. I gotta destroy them as fast as possible. Thank you for actually firing a projectile. Well, there goes one.
Killing streak.
I can get in the middle of there and get close enough and I can destroy multiple of them at once. Oh, oh, whoa, 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 that's bad, really bad. Thank you for allowing me to regenerate shots out of here. There are a lot of these freighters going in and out.
Killing streak.
And they'll spawn a lot of different of these auras in order to make my life more miserable. Oh, I was close. I thought I was going to get killed over there. Because I get trapped in the center.
Skill not ready.
I destroyed almost enough segments. I just need to get a few more. Oh shoot, I just arrived right into the boss. Well, this part is going to be full of a lot of fails. Alright, let's try facing this boss again. Hopefully this time I won't just ram into the boss. That's simple shmup rules, of course. If you run into the boss, you instantly die.
Skill not ready.
Of course, that's my fault for also taking configuration, which benefits you more if you go right into the boss. Or close enough to the boss. But I need to destroy that many ticks of segments.
Killing streak.
But if I get rammed into this, it's instant death. Good to know. So, not much pressure. I'm being sarcastic there. Oh, well. I'm being a little bit sarcastic, but I have to be really careful not to get caught in these shots. But these do have a lot of HP though, especially the front carriers. So it can be tough to destroy these. But if you do, I suppose you get a lot more experience. And good gear. Come on, I
Skill not ready.
really want to destroy that one. There we go.
Killing streak.
If I can destroy a few of them at once, that means I can do stuff like that. And this. And that'll make the boss fight so much easier. Oh boy. Really need to stop getting that close to the bosses. Make sure not to get sandwiched either.
Killing streak.
And get below this one. Oh good. If I can destroy each of the segments a bit closer enough to each other,
Killing streak.
I'll have a better chance of not getting eaten by all the shots. Oh, now we have these present boxes, which I wonder what they do. Well, I won't figure out now, at least, because I just destroyed it. Well, I destroyed enough segments in order to finish the boss fight, at the very least. Now I just need to survive. I suppose this is the point where I can just exit out of the stage immediately.
Killing streak.
Ah, well, missiles.
Skill not ready.
I would really like my skill to be ready soon.
Killing streak.
Okay, good. Oh, that was a little bit too risky there. I almost touched it behind. I almost touched each side of the boss.
Skill not ready.
I hope that's the last one. Oh, at last, mission complete. Yeah, this part is full of failures, mainly from running into bosses. At least we got a lot of credits in the process. And I'm thankful that I'm not losing any of my gear. But I suppose once we finish this string of missions, we'll be able to unlock grade 3. I don't mind that. I'll have a backup for that. Oh yeah, simple trident. I'm definitely getting that one. I know it's a simple weapon and doesn't really have much of DPS or other stats, but its main benefit is the DPS, and of course, it's one of the weapon types I'm really good at. Sure, let's sell off all. Let's sell off everything. There should be one more mission in this set, at least one more. Oh, never mind, there isn't. Let's see, cover the tracks. I thought there would be one more boss mission, but I suppose that's for getting into grade 3. Also, to correct some misinformation I said in the previous part, there are 100 difficulty levels, but there aren't necessarily 10 missions per difficulty tier. Or difficulty grade. It's just that there are 10 difficulty grades per or there are 10 levels per each difficulty grade, but not 10 missions. Well, yeah. I mean, you started it. Okay then. I wonder if we're secretly informing the others of what's going on. That would be a good idea. Unfortunately, we're at level 16, so it's going to take at least this in the next part in order to get to grade 3. Alright, cover the tracks 1. Simon seems to believe that your involvement in the previous attack might somehow be concealed by laying waste to Redemption's remote positions in the Lost Quarter. The man is definitely not a skilled strategist, but he has power over you. Maybe. Also, we have the linked mission for that. That was definitely a step up. And it was a difficulty spike, but that was more so to do my gear setup. If I had the interceptor and it was much better at dodging, it probably wouldn't be so much of a problem. After all, each weapon has their own strengths and weaknesses outside the stats and their own characteristics. And I have to get used to that in order to survive the game for a lot longer. And I didn't realize until the beginning that there are actually time limits for boss fights. I thought they were a little bit special and you had infinite time, or almost infinite time, but apparently not. Oh well, once you lose to a boss, you don't actually lose any of your gear. It only counts like a mission completion, except you fail it. It doesn't usually count as the ways normal retreats count as, where there's a chance of your items breaking down. Oh, the magnetic ones. These are really scary, especially in combinations with certain foes.
Focus up.
But I do like we're back to the normal mission setup and don't have hard bosses at the end. If there's one thing I want to make note of, it's the boss fights are pretty unique at this point. We already had that train-like boss, and we already had the more basic orbit-like ones, and both can be quite challenging at higher levels, or if you're not careful. After all, the Grade 2 version of that boss is more aggressive than the Grade 1 version. I've noticed that. Right now we just have the same sets of waves that we've seen before, but I suppose it's understandable. Even in ARPGs, eventually there are some segments where we'll see repeats of enemies and whatnot. If I had a mine here, it would be really awesome to use, but I don't have it equipped. You know what, after this mission, I'm going to be switching over to using the mine just to demonstrate it, how useful it is. Especially because how it can deal a constant stream of damage. And it's really useful against these smaller enemies specifically. But with enemies with higher HP, it's not as useful. But it does have its own characteristics because of how it can deal a constant stream of damage. We're almost at the boss fight. It feels kind of strange that we're sabotaging redemption from Simon. I wonder if he's one of the more crazy cultists of the group and he's the problem, and he thinks the other parts of the organization aren't fanatical enough. After all, this is a cult-like corporation. Now we have two of them we have to fight. Ow. If I can take out one of them at a time, I'll be able to take out the other one with relative ease. That should be it for this mission. Mission complete, let's get out of here. Because of what happened in the previous parts, or previous missions where I failed a lot, I'm going to be dumping over my hold as quickly as possible. And I'm also going to be demonstrating the mine skill. See, advanced active skills. We have a choice between the plasma mine and magnetic mine. The plasma mine will deal more damage. Well, this will deal more damage over time, but this will deal more immediate damage. But I'll use the magnetic mine because I want more variety. And I'll switch over conflagration with this one, because it does deal a wave amount of damage, or damage in a wave. Alright, cover the tracks too. Once I finish this mission chain, I'll be ending off this part. I suppose it's just this and the next one. Well, to be fair, if the mission chain goes over 2 parts, or this and the next part, I'll be finishing up in the next part, or end off this part. Good, we have a new environment, this desert environment, quite ruined desert. As you see over here, if once I press the fire button for this, eventually it'll detonate and constantly deal a string of damage. However, all of the mine skills do have whatever it's friendly fire, so you can run into it and take some damage, so you gotta be careful. And that damage is also affected by the amount of power rating you're at. But that means it can be useful in certain scenarios if you can get it right close to enemies, like here for example. I can deal a constant stream of damage to this enemy and easily make minced meat out of it. So it is quite useful in several scenarios, especially in scenarios where you have a lot of weak enemies, because it'll tear right through them. And stuff like this where I can actually fire the auras. And they're either detonated by enemies running into them, or me just shooting them. So as you can see here, it's making minced meat out of most of these enemies. It's best used against stationary enemies though. Which kind of makes sense, of course, because of how it stays in this particular area. But of course, each mine has their own characteristics, and this one uses it spreads out its damage over a period of time, whereas the plasma mine fires off in one big burst. That'll be better against foes who move faster. But that means I can get some really sick combos. Ow, that was bad.
Focus up. Killing streak.
So if I can get it like this, then bosses will pretty easily melt. But you gotta be a little bit cautious so you don't end up... basically you don't push your luck too much.
Killing streak.
We're about halfway done with this mission. And these are the parts of the game where it turns it more into a bullet hell. But like I said, I would like a little bit more precise controls, like grazing control, which allows me to move slower. Of course, there are certain skills I could equip, auto skills specifically, which would make the game a lot easier. Specifically, the ability to become invulnerable for 1 second after taking a hit. But that has a really steep penalty in the sense that your focus level gets cut in half if you have that skill equipped and take a hit. But now that I think about it, I may want to actually have that because I don't care as much about focus. I can always just grind off screen. I'm not that skilled of a player. In future playthroughs and maybe in other parts of the game, I'll take off that skill.
Focus up.
Oh, whoa, that's bad.
Killing streak.
Come on, I would like my shield to be up soon. There we go.
Skill not ready. Focus up.
At least I can eat up all of these bullets. Of course, it would be better if I had more shielding, of course.
Killing streak.
More energy.
Ready.
Whew, that was close.
Focus up. Killing streak.
Ow, of course, I thought they were bullets, so I tried absorbing them. But of course, they aren't bullets, they're enemies.
Focus up.
There goes number 1, or number 2 to be specific.
Focus up.
And that should be the end of this mission. Nothing of use over here, unfortunately. But I probably should be upgrading all my skills to higher levels. That should be good. More DPS would be nice. After all, a good offense is a good defense. Oh, and that was the end of that mission. Well, I guess I'll then end off this part by seeing what's going on at the rift. Something seriously is going wrong. Yeah, we already had bombs planted over there due to, well, Simon's machinations. And now it's raining, of course it is. And everyone has disappeared, and now there's smoke everywhere. Is Simon to blame? Oh, hello, Seth. He's another cultist. He looks a lot more serious and menacing. Father Seth, figures higher ranking. Well, to be fair, he was kind of crazy, and he seemed to be quite crazy in asking us to attack random targets. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, we blew up several of your shipments. How big is Redemption anyway? I know there are other corporations, but it seems like Redemption is the biggest, but how big? Okay then. Yeah, quarantine heathens. Okay then, so we need to destroy more of the quarantines, and then we'll be visiting one of Redemption's buildings, or locals. Well, I don't want to escape right now. Okay, we've rescued Isaac then. I think I know what Isaac wants to do. But, I think it's more like a business opportunity or a way to internally sabotage them. Alright then, in the next part, I'll be going to chase the heathens. So to summarize what happened in this part, we helped Simon in several of his crazy machinations, we fought 2 boss encounters, well technically 3, and I died several times, or had several automatic retreats, but thankfully none of my ships lost any parts. But I suppose this is where I need to really ramp up my game, and be careful with how my skill and equipment configurations are. You saw what happened when I just had the magnetic spear. It's good and all, but it wasn't good enough against the bosses, or the first boss at least, because it kept coming in and out of its shell. So certain items and equipment are better against certain other bosses, in addition to elemental resistances and more of how the weapons work. And in the next part, I'll be trying to rescue the rest of the Rift. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Toodles!